Hey everybody, Charles here. Welcome to Backroads Living. In this video we're going to revisit Texas and look at some of the problems they're having and some things that the residents have that I started to say look forward to, but actually to not look forward to. So hang in there and we'll get right on into the video. Let's revisit Texas. The sad part about this is it's not going to be Texas only. There's going to be other states around Texas that this storm hit really hard, places like Oklahoma, Kansas, and some of the other states, southern states. But the Texas Agricultural Commissioner issued a red alert over the food supply chain for Texas. And the food supply chain for Texas will not only affect Texas again, it'll affect states round about Texas. In Austin, the Agricultural Commissioner issued a dire warning Tuesday about the statewide impact of the weather storm on agricultural and the food supply chain. Commissioner Miller says farmers and ranchers across the state are seeing devastating effects from the cold weather on livestock, feed, and agricultural products. As Texas Agricultural Commissioner, I'm issuing a red alert regarding agriculture and our food supply chain here in the state of Texas. I'm getting calls from farmers and ranchers across the state reporting that the interruptions in electricity and natural gas are having a devastating effect on their operations. Now, there have been millions of people in Texas who have been without power for several hours at a time through this storm. There's been controlled rollouts and blackouts throughout Texas to conserve the energy there. Now, I honestly don't understand why Texas wouldn't have the necessary energy supplies they need to operate on, because in the summer months air conditioners are running at capacity in all these businesses and all these homes and stuff, and I would think that they would use a great deal of electricity at that time. But then when this snowstorm has hit and this ice situation has happened and this bitter cold has pushed through Texas, it's as though that they don't have enough energy to support the need there, with their grid. So it's just it makes me wonder why. But anyway, let's see what else he said. He said in one example, dairy operations are dumping $8 million worth of milk down the drain every day because the plants that process that milk don't have power. Now, these dairy farmers are having to milk their cows. They've got milk cows and they have to be milked every single day. They can't go without milking their cows. They have to milk them. And when they milk them, if they can't send it to the dairy plant, they have to pour it in the ditch. 8 million gallons a day poured down the drain. It said grocery stores are already at this point unable to get shipments of dairy products. Store shelves are already empty. We're looking at a food supply chain problem like we've never seen before. So this is going to be devastating to Texas. And as we said in other videos, these things have consequences, long-reaching consequences beyond what we're seeing right now. It's just like this jab in the arm. These things have long-reaching consequences. You may not see the effects of anything right now, because what all the doctors are saying now is that these things can take months to show up and cause the real problems and the side effects that come with them. But just like this right here, this thing, it just kind of rolls out and it's extended. All the consequences isn't going to be in one day and one night. He said that he called on the governor to designate agricultural producers and processors as critical infrastructure that must be provided gas and electricity to continue to operate. He's asking the governor to allow these plants that process the dairy to have electricity so they can stay operational, so that they can have milk come in to them and be processed and put out to the stores and to the places that need them. Governor Abbott must make AG Industries a priority for electricity and gas, just like hospitals, first responders, fire, and police. I salute all of our hospital workers and first responders as they deal with this natural disaster, but they won't have food to eat if our farmers are left without power. That's something they've got to realize, that if you don't have the farmer bringing in the food, then you're not going to have any food very long. You're going to be going hungry. You might have a warm hospital, but you got to have food to eat, and the people that's working there has got to have food to eat and things to drink. This devastating storm will end, ice will melt, temperatures will rise, and Texans will get through this. But I'm concerned about the damage of rural Texans that will be left behind if Governor Abbott doesn't act now. And the other thing about this, folks, is with this cold snap that's come in here, the kilowatt hours that is costing to run electricity for the homes in Texas that does have electricity is enormous. This is something that I hadn't noticed until today. I saw a write-up on it, and right here it is. Now we saw that, and I'm going to give you an example of how this works right here. We're looking at $9,000 a kilowatt hour, and for those of you that are paying like, let's say like 3 cents a kilowatt hour, your electric is going from 3 cents a kilowatt hour right now to possibly $9 or $10 a kilowatt hour. It's just astronomical, the cost that it's costing you to run your electric right now. I would highly advise anybody living in Texas that has electricity to go through and unplug anything and everything that you don't need absolutely for a necessity. Just an example, like I heard somebody say earlier today that the TV you're watching that normally costs you about 3 cents a day to watch, or maybe not even $1 a day to watch, it might cost you more than that. Maybe cost you even up to $2 or $3 a day to watch. So electric bill for a month that might normally run you $200 to $300 a month may this month end up costing you $2,000. It's just crazy. The price of this electricity has went up. This electricity was $30 a kilowatt hour back before this storm hit, and now that the power has drained it so much, it's up to $9,000 a kilowatt hour. Folks, do what you can to conserve every penny you can during this storm. And if you do that, then it may help them to be able to provide more electricity to other people. This is just not something that we need to overlook, and we need to understand it. We need to be much in prayer for these people in Texas. There are millions of people without heat right now, millions of them, and their houses. We're seeing videos all over the internet of people's homes that are in the 30-degree range because they have no electricity. It's zero outside and it's 30 degrees inside. They've not had any kind of heat or power in the house for several hours. And we need to certainly be much in prayer for these people and keep them in our minds and hearts. And the other thing about this, I'm going to show you another storm coming through here in just a second, but this is why it's so important for you to be prepared. Now, this storm will go by, and there's going to be a lot of people die from it. Nothing we can do about it now. What's done is done, and we can't go back and turn back pages and say, well, if John would have done this, and if Bill would have done that, and Sally would have done that. It's already done. Ain't nothing we do about it. All we can do is try to encourage people in the future to get ready for stuff like this. You never know when a disaster is going to strike. I have mentioned that before, time and time again. Disasters don't care whether you're ready or not. Disasters don't care if you've got food in your refrigerator. Disasters don't care if you've got a way to heat your house or heat anything, food or anything else. Disasters don't care. They just happen. And if you're not ready, you're going to be caught flat-footed. So it's important to be ready for these things. And right here is a second storm that's coming through. I want to show you, for those of you that may have not had an opportunity to see this. Now, we just had Irma come through, and she's the one that's caused all this devastation in Texas, all this bitter cold weather. And now here we go again. And let's look at this one real quick. Everybody, turn your hearing aids up if you need to. I'm going to do the best I can with it.
Last winter storm, we have Viola, and this storm is causing more trouble with ice, snow, freezing temperatures right through the Arklatex. So Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, that region is going to be somewhere we really are paying attention to, as well as North Carolina and Virginia, especially for ice. That's where our highest potentials for that will be. Now look at how this evolves Wednesday night and going into Thursday. You'll notice it's starting to elongate with that moisture. But
the Houston area is going to be hit again with ice and cold weather yet again. They're going to have to endure that with this new storm coming in. And it's showing here Wednesday and Thursday. That was Wednesday and Thursday right here. Go back and show you this week.
North Carolina,
right here,
Virginia, especially for ice. That's where our highest potential.
This is Shreveport, Louisiana, and Houston, Texas.
Look at how this evolves Wednesday night.
There's a medium to high risk here. Wednesday, moving through the south again. All this ice again up through here, and snow just falling and dumping on top of the one that just went through.
on the Northeast and New England. You're going to get in the mix with Viola with some snow as well as some freezing rain potential and ice potential for the Mid-Atlantic. So we have a large area of ice concerns here that will continue all the way into the next couple of days as this moves off to the north and the
Look
east.
at the ice.
And you'll notice those snow totals. Some places like
3 to
North
5
Philly,
inches of ice in
over
Roanoke,
5
Virginia, and
inches of snow
DC.
is possible out of Viola.
Syracuse, 3 to 5 inches of snow
Right
on
on
top
the-
of what I already had there. So, folks, you need to batten down the hatches, as the old saying is. Get your coats out, get your blankets out. That's why you need wool blankets. That's why we need wool in the house. That's why we need a backup source of heat of some kind. Doesn't matter what it is, just a little bit. Listen, you can take terracotta vases and turn them upside down and put candles in them, and it'll create some kind of heat for you. It helps a little bit. Stuff like that, anything to create you some heat. At this time, you need to do it. God bless you is all I know to say for you folks in Texas. There's just nothing we can do right now. We've seen people lined up for hundreds and hundreds of people lined up at grocery stores because they don't have food to eat. Folks, don't let yourself get in these kind of situations. Please don't let yourself get in these kind of positions that you don't have food in your house to eat more than just a day or two. Okay, so with that being said, you guys be blessed and stay safe, stay warm, and keep praying and keep prepping. And we'll see you guys in the next video.